Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Data and AI with Mukundan. Today's episode, I just want to talk about something very, very personal. This isn't about, the usual apps I built based on AI. It's not about GPT-4. It's not even about code or even productivity. Today's episode is more about memory. It's about love. It's about parents. It's about those small, quiet moments when you're sitting across the table from the people who raised you, knowing deep down that someday, sadly, these moments will be gone. And what if I told you I did build an AI to make them last? So stay with me here. So here's what's happening, right? My parents had recently visited me. They came all the way from India to the US, a full day of flights, layovers, and immigration queues. So we live worlds apart, not just in distance, but in daily rhythms. So we've been having meals together, going on walks, sitting on the couch with, coffee in hand, talking. But, since I don't meet them daily, this is not just like a how was a day kind of talk, right? It's about real stuff, about, life decisions, loneliness, which is something that happens a lot in the US. And coming from India, where, people and relationships matter a lot more versus individualism is a big thing in the US. So those are like some topics to talk about, right? Friendship, we talk about work, faith, well, not so much, but mostly work, friendship, and career-wise, and life decisions, like I mentioned, of course, growing old. Um, and one of those nights that they came, we were talking about something that had been bothering me at work. So it was one of those situations where I replay the interaction over and over in my head. You know what I mean? Like, uh, say you had like a tough day or whatever day, right? And then some kind of work interaction happened, which you wish you've done things differently. Um, and I was talking with my parents about this, and my dad, who is just sipping his lemongrass tea, he paused and he said something so simple. He said, well, you can't control what others do. You just have to do your best. And then my mom, without skipping a beat, added, you need to reconnect with your people, your friends whom you have made. They love you. But keep making new friends, but don't lose the friends that you have already. Right? We aren't meant to live our lives alone. Don't go through things by yourself. And it hit me. Like it really did hit me. So it wasn't something they just said to me, right? It wasn't like new advice. But this felt way more meaningful than the last few times they told me about this. Somehow in my mind it just felt final, like a snapshot. Something about the way they said it, the tone, the look in their eyes. So I realized one day this moment will just only exist in my memory. And I mean, it's hard to even talk about this. I don't know if you can figure that out from the way I'm speaking, but it is really hard. They've been gone a couple of weeks now, but they've imparted a lot of wisdom while they were here. And that's when I was thinking the idea just hit me at that time. And what if I could just capture this feeling? So, not just the words, but the comfort of it, right? So, here's what is this, had the spark which helped build this AI, this little spark. So now I believe like I'm a builder of apps. I built apps before, but this is not like a productivity app. This is not for job seekers. It's not for somebody to help me understand my own data. This one is very different. This is not for an audience. This one is for me. And people who think like me in this aspect, especially if you have parents who do not live close to you, like mine. Um, so I opened up my laptop as usual. Well, this part is kind of similar where I do opening the laptop and start with something small, sketchy, which is not too ambitious, but just a bit honest, right? Like a question box, a way to type out whatever I was feeling. And then two responses, right? One from mom and one from dad. Just a simple one, but it is very sacred, very close to my heart. So let me talk you through the emotional blueprint of what I try to build here. If you're into tech, you'll appreciate this simplicity. So if you're not, don't worry. This isn't a tutorial. It's a love letter. I used a Python-based library, Streamlit, which I normally use for the front end. And this is for all the new listeners out there. Yeah, so Python-based libraries is what I normally go with. Streamlit is what I used here. And I wanted this one to be a more minimalistic app, right? No flashy interface, just something that I could open in the morning and feel like they were there. Then I added GPT-4 as well, but not just any generic prompts. I crafted messages based on what I knew about their voices, the way they advised me, the way they reassure me, and the rhythm of how they speak. So mom's tone is a bit more soft, gentle, and it's about playing the long game. And dad's voice is more grounded, more rational, like a zoomed out view of the problem. I didn't need them to say anything new. I needed them to say what they've always said, just just one more time. Um, so here's what happened when the first time I tried to use this app that I built. Here's the moment that really got me, right? One morning I was spiraling. I typed into the box. I'm feeling stuck. That's it. Just three words. No context, no backstory. Just that's it. And then I clicked the button, and within seconds, two messages appeared. One from mom and one from dad. And it felt like they were talking to me through this app. It wasn't perfect. It's not like GPT's magic, but what made it powerful was that I'd been listening to them for decades. And now just I had a way to listen to them again. Felt like a hug, felt like a goodbye at the same time as well. So, well, luckily my parents are still here, today. But um, I would say I'm definitely fortunate that I'm still able to talk to them. Um, I know most of us may not be as fortunate, so I'm very grateful for that. But that being said, I know we are all here for limited time, and sadly, all we'll have in the future is just memories. So just wanted to capture everything that I could. Um, so well, you might be wondering why go through all this trouble? Because well, here's the truth. We all think that we will remember. We think that we will remember the way our mom said our name, the advice that our dad gave when life broke down, the way they looked at us, not with judgment but with pride. But memory fades, life gets louder, and grief has a funny way of stealing voices first. This app doesn't fight that entirely, but it creates an anchor, a tether to a kind of love that I don't want to lose. And you know what? You could build one too if you feel like it. So here's how I built mine, and you can try to build yours. Here's the tech that made it possible. So for the developers and the tinkerers listening, here's how you could build it. I used Python with Streamlit, the front end library for Python. It's a very simple front end library that you can use with Python. Then OpenAI's GPT-4 for the actual responses. Created two simple roles, one for mom and one for dad, and prompt engineering based on memory, tone, and lived experience. So I added a button, text box, and the two output areas. Code was just about 60 lines, which you'll find in the show notes. So I have a blog post that goes along with this in case you're interested in building one of your own. And that includes the code of how to build this yourself, and including, I mean, this it will talk about the same things I did here, but yeah, it'll be like more textual, obviously. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is another way, right? It's about 60 lines, just emotional weight. It's just immeasurable. So I wanted to do it through a podcast as well. You can obviously switch out the names. It could be your grandparents if um, you still have them, and mine unfortunately aren't there anymore in this world. So it could be a long lost friend for you, could be a mentor, a lost sibling, or even your future self. Where I plan this app to go next. So I don't think I'm done building here. This, I believe, is just like a version 1 for me. Next thing I want to add here is a voice input so that I can speak instead of typing. Uh, and export of the journal so that I can look back over the years and save their best responses and maybe share them with my kids someday, should I have any. This isn't just about tech anymore, it's about a legacy. Just to conclude, here's a letter to my future self. Dear future me, there will be days when you forget, when life moves really, really fast, when the grief just sneaks in without any warning. On those days, open the app, type in what's in your heart, and listen. Not to perfection, not to the AI, but to the memory of two people who loved you more than you ever could in your existence. Let them guide you again, because their voices deserve to last. So, thanks for staying with me today in a very emotional episode. Not like the other ones, but I hope it made you think about your own parents, maybe your mentors, your friends, and lost ones. The voices that shaped you to become the person that you ended up becoming. And if you wanted to build this for yourself, please reach out. And of course, like I mentioned, the blog is in the show notes with the code. But if you want to take it to the next level, just reach out and I'll help in any way I can. Because this kind of preservation, it matters. Until next time, this is Mukundan. If you like this episode, leave a review and please share with your friends or anyone. So signing off, not as a data analyst or as a builder, but just a son.